Welcome to today's episode of VisiFI Tips, where technology, innovation, passion, and purpose come together. My name is Jami Jennings, and I'm the Vice President of Product Marketing Strategy. I'll be your host each month as we talk to credit union leaders, researchers, fintech representatives, and many others about what is impacting credit unions today. On today's episode, my guest is Linda Carter. Linda is the president and CEO of Members-Owned Credit Union in Nebraska, and they have just recently implemented a new program this month called Buy Local, Spend Local, where technology and mission comes together, and I cannot wait for us to learn more about it. Thank you for joining me today, Linda.
Hi, Jamie. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. So let's kick it off, Linda. Tell me a little bit about this program. What does it mean, Buy Local, Spend Local?
Buy local, spend local it's a way for us to increase exposure for our local community businesses and also hopefully then increase the usage of our debit cards and credit cards as well. We were presented this option through the Nebraska Credit Union League here in Nebraska and with another vendor that offered it. So they help us with the back office of it. Because what we do is we, on our website, have a database of our local businesses that can be added at any time. They have to be locally owned within 2 counties in Nebraska that we have offices. And then we promote it. And then the real neat hook on it is that when members use their debit cards or credit cards at those local businesses, they have the opportunity each month to have their transaction reimbursed back to them. So if they go over to the local coffee shop that's owned here in Lincoln, they get their coffee, say they got it this morning, come June 1st, they might get that free. So it's a great little perk then for them for supporting their local business.
Okay, so let me unpack this. So essentially, the goal is to support local businesses in the area. And if I were to buy coffee from the local coffee shop, then essentially that transaction gets entered into, we'll just call it a pot. And at the end of the month, there's a drawing, and whoever wins, then I get that free cup of coffee. Is that right?
Exactly. We do have 10 winners a month. And we were able to work with Rogers at VisiFI, who he helped us create the report each month that we do a randomizer once we get that and pick our winners from it.
Okay, so this is the technology part. Yeah. So essentially, your core system creates a system that says, okay, here's all the transactions that are local. And then he creates some type of mechanism that allows you to randomly choose the 10 winners.
Correct. So yeah, each month, and he's generous enough, each month as we add new people, we shoot the description from the debit card transaction to him, and he adds that in each month. So we make sure we add all the new businesses in each month as well.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, tell me, because I know your physical branch is a little unique of where it's located, and you guys are in a neighborhood. Is that right?
We are. So that's been part of the fun of it is we have these really local businesses that we know about. So that's who we really started with, adding into our database. And, our goal is to get more in, but that's been fun that we have the local pharmacy across the street and the grocery store that we get to connect with them even more.
Now, how does that work? Was this a big town hall meeting essentially? I mean, not necessarily, you know what I mean? Did it come together and say, okay, how do we promote our small businesses here in the town? But how did the companies or the businesses come together to be a part of the program?
Really was driven by us. We first off, it's taken a couple months for us to kind of gather it all together, but we surveyed all of our employees and said, we want to start with a database. Who are your favorite local businesses that you like to go to shop at, eat at, that sort of thing? And so we started with those. And then we've been through, as we've moved in the last month or so, as we've been moving and promoting this through social media and in the office, we are asking our members to tell us their favorite businesses as well. And then we've been adding those in.
Oh, well, that's great. Now, what's the process or what type of system are you using for that?
We just have a page on our website that it is a database that tells about the program, and then members can look at the different local businesses that are in there. And then either they or the local businesses, or even myself, if I shop somewhere and I realize it's locally owned, I go into that website and just add them. So some businesses don't even realize they're in there, but we'll let them know eventually.
Oh, absolutely. I would be showcasing it, right? So is this something that the town's really excited about? I know y'all just implemented it this month, right?
We did. And one of the big kickoffs we did was at a local boutique. Unfortunately, we don't have a boutique right on our corner or anything, but at a local boutique, locally owned, we just 2 weekends ago had a big event where we brought in a Nebraska volleyball player, and Nebraska volleyball is king. And so we had a new volleyball player that we wanted to introduce to the company, or to the community, excuse me. We wanted to promote this boutique, the Edge Apparel, and then also our program. So the three of us, with a NIL deal with the volleyball player and the boutique and us, were promoting it and getting people to come in and do a meet and greet with the volleyball player.
Now, okay, so now let me back up a little bit. So I know you said volleyball is king. So is this essentially your marketing mechanism, right? To where she actually promotes the program of the buy local? Is she telling them about it?
She did it more as a spokesperson to tell about it, to promote it to the community and get them to seek more information.
Okay, well, that's great. Now, is there things that you're doing on social media as well, kind of get the hype out? Because I hear she is from Alabama. Is that
she's not far from you, Jamie, or originally from you. Yeah, she's been putting on her social media, and then we've kind of taken the mantle because she was more of an event. So at this time, we're not paying her to continue to promote it. And so then we've taken it and continue to promote it on our social media.
Well, see, I think that's really cool that you bring this up, because a lot of times we look at traditional marketing, right? We look at traditional marketing of having the tent cards in the businesses or at our branches, or email notifications or posters. But what made you think about taking this different approach, using an influencer, I'll call it, or an athlete, or as you say, a volleyball is king? What made you think in that direction?
That was actually an idea of the company that's helping us with it.
Okay.
It's Canada is the company, and they're actually based out of Florida, but they've worked with our league, and they're the ones who came up with the name, image, and likeness with the volleyball player.
Now, tell me what that means, name and image and likeness. Is this something kind of what they teach to help spread the word?
No, the name, image, and likeness is just the word for how you can get now college students, college athletes to promote your businesses. And then they of course get paid, and then we get to use their image and their popularity to help promote our business.
Okay. Well, see, this is completely different. I know some credit unions are kind of getting into this realm of communication, right? And I guess we don't know yet how well it works, because I think you started on May 13th, and that's her number.
That was our big kickoff. We've had just a couple. We started March 1st was our first drawing. And so we kind of softly started with that. But so just June 1st will be our 4th month of drawing and reimbursing transactions from those local businesses.
Okay. Now tell me about this, because you just kicked it off. So I know you said, all right, we're going to choose 10 winners a month. How do you communicate to the members that they won?
Yeah, we post that on social media as well. And, the biggest thing is members like, why am I getting this money back in my account? So we get them to call in too. And then we promote it on social media.
Now, are you partnering with the business? So let's say I was at the local bookstore, and one of my transactions got, reimbursed. So I guess that just goes back into my checking account. Is it to a certain amount, Linda? Is it, let's say, up to $25 or $10, or is it however much I bought there?
It's up to $25.
Okay. So up to $25. I see that it's credited back into my checking account. Do you notify the bookstore as well that one of your purchases got reimbursed, or maybe we're not that far yet?
Well, Jamie, I appreciate that suggestion. I love that a lot. We are not doing that right now, but I love the idea.
Well, I think so, because then as the bookstore, I'm going to tell people to make sure, they come to your credit union and use your debit card, because I think it could drive traffic both ways. Not only are you supporting the bookstore, but they can support you as well, and they get free books.
Exactly. I love that idea.
I like that too. So let me say this. This is not a program that your credit union or you, Linda, came up with. So how did you learn about this program?
Through our Nebraska Credit Union League, with our partnership in the their services group that suggests things or offers things to the credit unions.
Okay, so you were at a league meeting, and they kind of introduced this concept. If I was a credit union, is it only in Nebraska, or do they do it everywhere?
As far as I know, there's other states doing it. I don't know if it's all in all 50 states. We're the first ones in Nebraska, I believe, to kick it off, but there's other states that have already been doing it.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so if I'm a credit union and I want to look into this type of program, what does it cost? How does it work?
So we pay an annual fee for each county that we promote this in. And we have 10 counties in southeast Nebraska, but we just chose, to start with, we just chose the 2 counties that we have branches in, Lancaster and Gage County. So you just pay it's just several $1,000s per county per year. It's a 2-year commitment. And really, as we've gotten started in this, you need to be 2 years into it just to make sure you get it launched properly. So,
well, okay. So it's an annual fee based off the size of the county. So based off how many demographic it is. How do you offset that investment, Linda? So let's say you paid, I don't know, $5,000 a year, how do you offset the investment to pay that $5,000 for this program?
Our intent is to be able to show that we have increased interchange income during that time. I believe, though it was a bit of a leap of faith to start, we decided that it was a marketing expense to start with, that we wanted to be able to, we know we could market local businesses, our debit and credit cards. We saw it as a marketing expense. And then hopefully we will see, especially, I'm going to wait till the end of the first year to see if can we associate increased debit and credit card interchange fee based on this program.
I completely agree with that. And I do see it as a good marketing program as well. Do you guys do business accounts at the credit union today? Let's say the bookstore, could they use your credit union to manage their business account?
We are not heavily into business accounts. We do small businesses, but it's got to be pretty small. So that is one aspect that I really see this program could help credit unions with, that we aren't really even taking advantage of. We just had one of our local businesses on our corner here come and talk to us about, should they open their business account here? And it was a direct result of our buy local, spend local. So it was, in the very least, it started a really great conversation, and maybe that's something they can help us in the future get into those type of accounts.
Oh, I completely agree. And I think even with the employees, right? I mean, to support the bookstore, whatever the local community is, that could be a great way just to, like you said, marketing to drive business to the credit union.
Exactly.
Now, you said you've got 2 branches in different counties. So I'm assuming, I mean, this is a lot of work for you as well, though. Does this company that has this database, do they provide any marketing pieces or information that you distribute to local businesses to kind of let them know this is what we're doing? Or you just have an employee kind of make a list and say, I'm going to sign up all these businesses that I'm aware of? How do they help you roll this out?
They helped us roll it out with marketing materials. Now and this is one nice thing that they allowed us to. They did press releases for us. They do window clings for the businesses. They do informational handouts, but they're very flexible. We have a marketing or advertising firm that we've been working with for many years, and they actually customized it then a little bit to us. They created a signature look for us. And the nice thing was, even though the company was willing to help us out, they were very flexible in allowing us to make it our own.
Oh, that's very cool. Now, let me ask that. So I know you said the marketing pieces and the branding and everything, they'll help you with that. What about the printing and distribution? Who does do you fund that as well?
That is us. And that's one thing that, like I said, and as we were adding businesses, that's our next push, is to go out into more of the businesses outside maybe our immediate neighborhood here in Lincoln, to get more businesses involved and excited about it.
I agree with that. Now, is this something that you worked with the mayor on, of kind of an initiative for the town, or maybe not yet?
No, not yet. In our Beatrice office, it's a smaller county, and we've been very involved there in the chamber, and they have a great initiative about buying local. And that's one thing we want to start with them then, is to get involved in that program and maybe promote the two together.
Right. No, I love everything about it. I mean, it's people helping people, it's bringing the community together, and it's just a really cool program, Linda. Is this something that your employees are excited about?
They are. And I think the neat thing is it starts different conversations that we can have with our members. We find out they might have a small business that they're a part of, or, even if are the different interests that they have that we get to be involved in then.
I agree. I mean, even to be a part of something like that. I mean, we all want to be a part of something, bigger than ourselves and contributing in this way, and that you guys are really making an impact on your town as well. I love what you're doing, Linda.
Well, great. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let me ask you this. If a credit union did want to see if this is something that is offered in their state, are you okay or comfortable with them reaching out to you directly? Or is there somebody that they would reach out to find more about the Buy Local, Spend Local program?
Definitely, they can contact me. I'd be very willing to share information and the information on who to contact, but also just some of our best practices.
Oh, that's great. So, okay, let's talk about that. What do you mean by best practices? Well, I'm guessing you've got to have these disclosures or things on your website. Or is there any, I guess, from that standpoint, is that what you mean?
Well, and I just even mean maybe some of the things that we wish we'd done a little differently when we started, or, what we're still working on now.
So maybe some lessons learned.
Yeah, better. That's really where we're at right now. Lessons learned. Maybe in a few months we'll have best practices.
We'll have some best practices. Well, what's one thing that you can think of that you wish you would have changed or done differently?
I wish we would have done the getting out to our local businesses a little sooner.
Okay.
But as a smaller credit union, that's always our issue with personnel, trying to get somebody to take off their hat doing something else and get them doing another thing. So,
and I get that, but to be honest, because you guys are in the small town, I kind of like it as well, right? It's kind of, you're all working together to establish this program. So I think it's a win-win regardless.
Yeah, just taking us a little longer than I thought it would, but.
Well, hey, I'm excited to see the results. If you're okay with it, of course, we're going to list all of your information about the program underneath the podcast, and anybody could download and view. But maybe in the future, maybe 6 months from now, we could put some statistics, right?
That'd be great.
Oh, that would be cool. Okay, now let me ask you this, Linda. I know we're almost at time here, and I always like to just ask a question more personal about you, just so the audience gets to know a little bit about Linda Carter, because you're amazing. So, Linda Carter, my question to you is, when you were a little girl, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, Jamie, I wanted to be Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
It was an invisible plane and everything.
Oh, well, this is pretty close. I mean, you are saving the world, right? Your town with the Buy Local, Spend Local. So I'm seeing that you're settling in. Do you have the cape yet?
Oh, working in a credit union is living the dream. It's wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Linda, I want to thank you today for taking time to tell us about this program. I'm really excited to see the impact that it makes for your credit union and also for your community. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for allowing me to share it with you.
Oh, thank you. Was there any closing comments that you have?
No, I appreciate the opportunity. And if anyone has any questions, please reach out.
That's awesome, Linda. Well, have a great day, and thank you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
A Huda Media Production.